Hello, beautiful soul family. Rebecca here, your vibe mentor, bringing you another video on how to raise your vibration so you can live your best life. So, continuing on, there clearly is a series or a theme that is emerging here that I have yet to name because it's so fascinating how all of this is coming together, and to name it is not quite possible right now. So I trust that that name will come to me when it is ready. But if you have watched the previous videos around We Are Crystalline already, as well as yesterday's video that talked about how the divine lives in us, there is a theme that is emerging here, and I will link that last video here as well. It is fascinating to see how the power that we contain still has yet to be realized, and it is housed in the body. That the body is beyond just a resource or an asset that we haven't tapped into yet. It is divine in its own right. And the reason I'm bringing this video to you today is because I have been doing so many brain spotting sessions. I'm talking to 3 to 6 people a day as best I can, facilitating healing, identification of blocks, which usually tie into some sort of complex trauma in childhood and or the unworthiness wound, and then also facilitating brain spotting sessions to help heal some of that. And link below for a free 30-minute session. It's available to anyone. That's not the point of this, but really what has been coming up is how powerful, lots of numbers popping up on another window over there, which is awesome, synchronicities. But it's so tremendously awe-inspiring and humbling to experience the healing that can happen when we come together. That I, as a brain spotting facilitator, can technically brain spot for myself, but it is not nearly as powerful as if I and my therapist do it, which I got lucky and stumbled upon a secret spiritual therapist, which he's amazing and I love. But I experience the same thing when I'm facilitating this for other people, that I work with counselors and psychologists and healers, and they will say, I know all these things, I've done all these things for myself, but I still haven't been able to heal this for myself. And so it's really fascinating and incredible and, like I said, awe-inspiring to watch this happen. And I asked a question in a session earlier today, because when we ask, we're asking, look at the etymology of the word asking, you remain as king when you are asking the question. I asked the question, why is this so much more powerful? What is happening here? And so just some of the science behind brain spotting is essentially using a pointer. We identify an optical access point that allows us to connect to the limbic brain. So the eye, through the optical nerve, connects to the limbic brain. When we find an access point with a pointer and you hold your eye on that spot, you're accessing your subconscious brain, your limbic brain, the brain that houses the program, right? And so again, just the science of it, while we're accessing that, I'm also entraining my nervous system to a calm, safe state so that you are entraining to me. And so together we create a safe place, and your body, as the receiver of the brain spotting, knows, okay, it's safe to bring up the trauma. The body keeps the score, so the trauma is housed in the body, so the body allows that trauma to come up to be released and processed. So that's the scientific explanation. But in the sessions that I'm having, people are saying, that was so crazy, this is unlike anything I've ever tried, and I've tried everything, including, psychedelics and things of that nature. What is happening here? And so everybody's kind of asking the same question, as am I. And of course, again, I'm humbled to be gifted with the answer to this question, or at least the beginnings of the answer to this question. And it has a lot to do with the videos I mentioned earlier about being crystalline already, and about our creator being in our body. So in every first strand of our DNA, it literally is encoded God eternal within the body. So what is coming to me, and what came to me today in that session when I asked the question, like, what is happening here? The words that came to me was, where 2 or more are gathered, there I will be also. And I, of course, was raised in Christianity, and it has been said both in Course of Miracles and in other places that Spirit will use the words and the language that you already know or you've already heard or have an understanding of to work with you to shift your perspective, right? A miracle is a shift in perspective. And so what I understood was the connection to our bodies are crystalline already. So when we talk about becoming crystalline, that is happening. I'm not discounting that, but we are already similar to crystals in that we have the two primary components, and actually there's a third, but it's silica, calcium, and oxygen. And so if you look at our cells are literally lined with silica. Our connective tissues are silica. Obviously, our bones are calcium, and then of course we're breathing oxygen. So that makes us giant conductors. And I'm sort of reviewing some of these videos so that we can tie it all together. We are like giant Tesla towers designed to call in creator source energy so that we can use it to heal or to transmute or to be of service, right? And so that ultimately we are made perfectly imperfect for a purpose so that we can contribute and offer our gifts to the world so that collectively we can become the new earth construction team and come together and build the necessary systems to have a healthy, thriving society like we are intended to. So, okay, going back to what is happening in these brain spotting sessions. So we are crystalline. So that was sort of the first epiphany. I think that was a couple months ago now, probably I think end of March. Then the next question became, why is the body so able to heal us? There is more respect owed to the body than we have given it. And we've all said, I'm sure at some point, oh, it's just a meat suit, or we've heard that term, right? So understanding again, the intention there is that we are not defined by our bodies. We should not feel less than because our bodies don't fit the societal perfection image or image of perfection that we are delivered. But at the same time, yes, that is true. We don't identify with the body, but at the same time, the body is, again, a greater and more tremendously divine instrument than we ever realized. And if you realize this, congratulations. I think you're ahead of the curve. I don't mean to discount your ability to understand these things, but the body is a tuning fork. It's not only a Tesla tower, and I originally said designed to call in the creator source energy as if it's out there, which it is, but it is also in us. Again, looking at our DNA, God eternal within the body. So the breath of life courses through us. Literally, we were created in our creator's image. We were the only ones who were created with the breath of life. Everything else was created with a word. We literally were defined as our creator's favorite and given dominion over the earth. So the fact that we question our value and worth is completely absurd. Not that you should feel bad about that, but it should be easy for you to remove that after hearing this and after knowing that and in integrating it at a cellular level, because what happens is you remove the very thing that stands in your way. So when people say you're the only thing standing in your way, or you're your only block, what I'm finding that means is the thought processes, the mental capacity to believe and get out of the way is what has held many of us back. So again, going back to the complex trauma, it is the unworthiness wound, it's the belief that the world is not safe or other people are not safe. That is partially keeping us from stepping into our purpose and creating the new earth. So I was digging deeper because I know if it's in Christianity, it's always somewhere else, that all of the ancient texts have general themes that connect them in the way of stillness is key, right? If we can be in stillness, what happens in the body when the DNA is under stress, it literally goes from expressing and full and elongated to compressed and expressing less or expressing more negative traits. And it literally curls in on itself. And so that is, right, God in the body. It's written on our DNA. And what is happening when we come together in these brain spotting sessions is we are amplifying each other. So if we are giant crystals and Creator is in our body, and where two or more are gathered, He is greater. He, she, it, they, them, I don't care. If you watch my videos, you know, call it God, source, creator, universe, divine, doesn't matter. A rose by any other name still smells as sweet. You cannot change what your creator is, right? And of course, the Tao will tell us it cannot be named, right? So there really isn't a proper name. So again, This, I think the intention of this video is to share with you the importance of healing the complex trauma or the unworthiness wound or the belief that people are not safe, so that you can start to come together with your spiritual brothers and sisters, with the people who are on the path of doing the right thing and trying to make the world a better place, acting with integrity and willing to face their shadows, to do the hard work, right? Because actually, brain spotting, as many of my beautiful acquaintances or clients say, is the softest modality that I've ever experienced, that they've ever experienced, and also the most effective. So it doesn't actually have to be hard, right? So even in Buddhism, they'll say that if one person can help, an organization with spiritual roots can grow and join each other to make a greater difference, right? The Buddha actually once said, a jug fills drop by drop. One drop alone cannot fill a jug because it takes many. So teamwork is essential. We, again, need to come together so that we can amplify each other. So what's happening in these sessions is, yes, I'm entraining my nervous system, but I'm also calling in energetic support. And I'm amplifying and creating, right, where two or more are gathered, there our Creator is. So what we're really doing is amplifying and allowing and calling in a greater sense, magnetizing and attracting and electrifying the abilities that are already in us. They're kind of like turning it on. So if you're with me so far, I recognize my name is Rebecca, which means to bind together, which means I connect dots, right? So there's more to this. If you can understand the complex stuff, stick with me here. So crystals, certain types of crystals, especially quartz crystals, but other crystals as well, there's a complex definition as to why, but many are piezoelectric. Piezoelectric crystals are what are used in cell phones, in watches, in electrical devices, in sound production devices like speakers or microphones, amplifying, right? Amplifying effects. We also are piezoelectric. Our bones and our DNA, again, are piezoelectric. So here's the really fascinating thing, that piezoelectric crystals create electrical charges when they experience pressure, or they are when you strike them, right? So if you hit them, right, again, it's pressure. And the word piezo means electricity resulting from pressure or latent heat, right? It's derived from the word pisine, which also means to squeeze or to press. So tie that back. So stress, pressure, squeezing, or to press creates latent heat, okay? So ask yourselves, we have to ask, I have asked this question, I'm waiting on the answer, could this be why we've experienced so much stress, so much trauma in our lives? Because it makes us more powerful. And I'm hearing a resounding yes. So see how that resonates with you. I don't 100% know for sure, although I just got the answer, but I do know that we are tremendously more powerful when we come together. And I believe that this is what is happening because we have this latent heat in our electromagnetic bodies that is already crystalline. When we come together and we amplify and release this power, we have a healing energy that is available to us like no other. So brain spotting is the one thing that I have seen that has allowed this. And I'm sure there are many others, and I'm sure this is new and emerging in many different ways because I'm not, the only one. So this is definitely the wave of the future and a trend that will be coming. And it's difficult to articulate, right? Again, like the Tao says, it cannot be named, right? But understand that people are not bad, that you can heal your trauma, that the world is not unsafe. The world can be safe when you heal and you create the boundaries and you have the mental capacity to change your beliefs and change your mindset, reprogram your subconscious, that it is possible. And I want you to understand that we talk about being powerful, but there are no words to articulate what is available to you if you're willing to step into this. And like I said, we need a new earth construction team. You are perfectly imperfect for a purpose. And we can't do it alone. One drop can't fill the jug. We are meant to come together. And that may be over Zoom for a while until we collectively establish, and I know it's already in progress, that many spiritual beings are looking for places close to the equator where we can live the way we were meant to live. And in that case, when that comes to fruition, we will be closer together. But until then, I highly recommend, if you haven't healed, work on healing. And if you have healed, work on identifying your life purpose. Know that it doesn't have to be a healer or a card reader or a psychic, that there are gifts in you that you are built for. And your joy is your compass, whatever makes you happy, whatever lights a fire in you. And if you can't find that, if you feel like, I don't know what makes me happy, then back up to step one, and that is healing, because it is the trauma that hides the purpose from you. So if you've covered step one and you've healed and you've got an idea of what your life purpose is, and you have a good sense of your joy and your bliss and your compass is clear, then great. Then reach out to someone to start collaborating. Reach out to someone to start teaching you how to make a living doing it. I can cover all three of these if you need assistance, but really that's not what this is about. What this is about is, you're not alone. You are not meant to be alone. Nobody gets brownie points for going this alone. That we are more powerful together. None of us can do this alone. We need you. I need you. Please get in contact with me, and I will facilitate as much free healing as I can to get you started. And know that you are meant to thrive, not just strive. Life is not supposed to be difficult. You are supposed to be happy. Your needs are supposed to be met. And the thing that brings you joy is the very thing you're being asked to step into. And so you can have a good life. It's not Pollyanna-ish. Manifestation works. You just have to understand how to work the system. I teach that too. It's all part of the course and coaching program. So I love you guys so, so much. And this is so tremendously amazing and awesome. It's kind of like God's cool again, right? Again, stopping now before I shoot myself in the foot. I love you guys. Please do subscribe. That would be amazing. It really helps keep the channel going so that I can continue to do this and be here for you and show up. Otherwise, if you have done that already, check out this video to continue on your journey, and I will see you hopefully very soon in the new earth or on the next call. Take care. Bye.